Hi, this is Joe. Welcome back. This is the Ultimate Love Letter. Thank you for joining the conversation. How you do one thing is how you do everything. That is the conversation today. I'm gearing up to do a campaign for Ocean, but actually for myself and actually for the world. And that is beginning with our oceans. This coming Saturday is International Ocean Cleanup, and I'm doing my part to preserve our oceans, our coastlines, our rivers, not only for the marine life that calls that ecosystem home, but also for the world, because I understand how everything is connected. I understand how the choices I make in my day to day impact the world around me, impact my neighbors, impact my family, impact strangers that I don't even know. So I know that as I do my part to keep the world clean, the ecosystems clean, I understand the big picture is what thrives when we're removing plastics from the ocean. Our ecosystems, our fish, our coral thrives. What also thrives? Our climate thrives. What also thrives? We thrive when we live in a world with a balanced climate, with balanced ecosystems around us. When one area of life, when one ecosystem in our world is in balance, in harmony, is in health, then that translates to health for all of us. So, as I'm getting ready for that work this weekend, which I'm so excited about, it just reminded me of how we do one thing is how we do everything. So, I want to get into it. Speaking about, just speaking about, you know, the health that I want for myself, the abundance that I want for myself. In reality, I don't just want it for myself. I want it for you as well. I want it for everyone because once you understand that riches, wealth, health is our birthright, and there's plenty of it to go around because it is my birthright, it is your birthright, then all of a sudden that removes competition. It removes the thought of believing that if I have it, you can't have it. That if you have it, then you're taking it away from me. But understanding that it is at the top, there is room for everyone. There is room for all of us to prosper, to win, to live victorious lives. In fact, that is exactly how we're meant to live. We're meant to live saturated in wealth and peace and joy and health. So as I move through life, accepting these things, as I move through life, enjoying these things, the health, the wealth, the prosperity, I am intending that you step in and also use the resources you have available, which is unlimitless in everything you desire. Actually, that's the work we're doing here. If you haven't realized it yet, if this is just your first time tuning in, then you would understand that what we're doing here on our platform is encouraging one another to step into the limitless that you are, the power and the creator of everything you desire begins with you. It is within you. It is meant to come out of you. So, I'm thinking about, as I move through life, I only want to live a life of harmony. And that means harmony with my neighbor, harmony with our animals, harmony with our insects, harmony with nature around me, the weather, one another, the animals, everything. Understanding that we're all connected means that as we move through life, we are to be living according to how can I thrive? How can you thrive? And that also begins with nature. That also begins with our wildlife. And I'm going to speak about the oceans. You know, I feel the most godly when I know that the changes I'm making at home are impacting the world. So, for instance, I am always recycling, but to go a step further, I try to decide what can I reuse, right? So I try not to take the plastic forks and knives that are given to me at takeouts. I do not buy red solo cups or Dixie plates to eat out of. If I'm going to a party and they're calling for, quote unquote plastic cups, I will actually pay more to buy the compostable cups, the cups that, just dissolve in our environment, that do not need to be recycled, that don't need to be reused, that will absolutely just go back into the soil and into thin air, and actually do what's best by eliminating our footprint rather on the environment. I also don't support, our bottled water industry. Like, I don't understand how we have taken our natural resources, which is water. It's free for you and me. It's healing for you and me. But yet, corporations have taken this resources, bottled it in the most harmful plastic, and then selling it to us. Like, I will never understand how we have managed to just allow the wool to be put over our eyes in that case. No, I buy a water filter and I refill my beautiful hydro flask. Like, that's what I do to do my small part in making sure that our environment thrives, that I am not hurting it. And I understand in modern days, you can't really be sustainable perfectly, and that's okay. I just need to do what I can do to make sure that I am limiting my footprint. And so these are the little things that I do. Also, I eat plant based most of the time. Like, I don't want to harm animals. Now, I do eat differently when I'm abroad, where food is not really mass produced, where the food is more pure, it's not filled with toxins that will hurt me, that would give me heart disease and cancer and all these things that we know our meat and dairy in the US does to our body. I just don't want to support these industries that are exploiting our animals and our environment and each other, right? Because what comes when we're ill? Pharmaceuticals come, right? Um, we are prescribed pills for the symptoms of our illness as a result of what we're eating. So I certainly don't want to buy into areas in life that cause more of a destruction. I don't want to buy into materials that are just going into our oceans and killing our coral and killing our wildlife that lives in the oceans. And here's the thing. As we move through life with the intention of not hurting others, anything, our environment, then that powerful force is returned back to us. Meaning, you will attract healing and health and abundance back to you as you are giving it to the world. And I see it in my own life. I have never been as healthy as I am today at the ripe age of 47. How is it that I've never been healthier and I'm older? That is because as I've grown older, I've grown into the wisdom of what you give, you get back. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So if I was to sit on this platform, our platform, and speak about God's truth, God's love, God's harmony, God's prosperity and protection over your life, but then I move in life a different way, meaning I move in life attending to with the intention of hurting anything else outside of myself, then that is a huge misalignment. Something is not registering. But when you are living authentic to yourself, then that aligns everything in your life. Hence the term, how you do one thing is how you do everything. You know, when I'm just looking out in life and I'll see people, you know, consuming, I don't know, consuming food and then just throwing the food on the street, right? Not in a wastebasket, just on the street. I immediately know how that person's life is. I know that they are living in pain. I know that they probably have some health issues. I know that, and I'm going to keep it real, that to the core of them, they are not clean. To the not so core of them, just their outward body is not clean. Why? Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. If you're polluting your environment, then that tells me you're polluting your body. You're polluting your world. You're polluting your friends with probably with what you're putting out as far as mindset, words, encouraging or lack thereof. How you do one thing is how you do everything. I'm going to speak because this is a trigger for me to those that have dogs and that walk their dogs and just don't pick up their dog's droppings. My theory is if you're not cleaning up after your dog, after they're, releasing their droppings, then honestly, and I'm going to say it, you're not cleaning up after yourself when you're doing the same thing. That is my theory. Because again, how you do one thing is how you do everything. I was watching a woman the other day. I was just driving, and it was near my home. And the woman was jogging, you know, and she had a big dog with her and she was picking up his droppings. And I was just about to pull over and tell her, thank you, for keeping our environment clean. But before I knew that, she started jogging again. As soon as she took off jogging, she had the doggy bag with the poop and she just threw it like in front of an apartment building. And I'm like, oh my God. So not only did you not pick up the dropping, but you wrapped it in this plastic and then you littered it anyway, right in the doorway of where people pass. That told me in the moment, and it's not judgment, it's just my third eye. How you do one thing is how you do everything. And so I did catch up to her and I told her, hey, sis, you dropped your dog bag back there. And she had headphones on, so she didn't hear me. She had me repeat it like 3 times. So by the third time, the people that were out, there were about 3 or 4 other people that were walking their dogs. They all heard it the first time. So now they heard it the second time. They heard it the third time. They heard it the fourth time when she finally removed her earbuds. And then now they're all looking at her. They're looking at me. And I said, again, hey, sis, you dropped your doggy bag back there. And she just said, okay, thank you. And I said, yeah, thank you for collecting it. How you do one thing is how you do everything. I'm going to speak to those of us that own our businesses or are creating a business or are creatives or, putting out a product that you intend to impact the world for or with rather. Are you supporting your friends, your followers when they are putting out their work? Are you clicking the link to purchase their book? Are you buying into their programs? Are you buying their music when it drops? Are you supporting their fundraiser? How you do one thing is how you do everything. If you want to attract anything in your life, hear this and hear this clear. You have got to do whatever it is you want to be done to you first, not after, but first. I saw a post the other day that said, it takes nothing to support your friends, meaning if you don't have the money to buy into a product that they're selling, can you at least share it to your social media page? Can you send a message of encouragement to your friends saying you see them, you're praying for them? Can you send prayers? Can you put their product in the face of another friend that you know that may be needing their product? What can you do to support your creative friends? What can you do to support your friends that are just stepped out in business? Because you know when it's your turn, when you're trying to create something, what do you want? You want support. You want someone to buy into all that you are selling, correct? So then what can you do first? What you want, you must do first. How you do one thing is how you do everything. I can stand here firmly and in gratitude and proudly and say, there is not a single friend of mine that wasn't selling either music, didn't have a project they were funding, didn't have something they were selling that I have not purchased for myself. Why? Because I know the feeling of creating something with your hands, putting it out in the world, and the feeling of getting a sale on it. Or I know something of putting your blood and sweat and tears in a book, putting it out there, and then just waiting for the sales. I know what it feels like when you get a shout out, when someone says, oh my God, I read that blog or I listened to that podcast and you're killing it. I know the feeling of being seen and being supported. I know that's a grand feeling and I want that feeling for the rest of my life. So then as soon as I see a friend that is doing something with their work, I bought in, period. And it only takes one time. This is not to say that you continue to buy in, week over week and month over month. No, but you're doing your part. You are supporting the work because you want your work supported. Again, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So I want to give it to you here. What are you doing for your environment, for your world, for your community, for your followers, for your family, for your friends, for your brand? Are you putting out love and harmony, or are you doing something different? Are you seeing that your friends have a campaign going, but refusing to support the campaign? Okay, well, if you're choosing that, then just know when it's your turn, that very powerful frequency, that very powerful manifestation will become your manifestation. How you do one thing is how you do everything. Are you polluting the world with our toxic mindsets, or are we healing the world with our beautiful words of wisdom and love and encouragement? Are you intending to win? Great. Are you intending for others to win? Are you uplifting others? If you're not, understand how you do one thing is how you do everything. And as you do to others, will for sure be done to you. I want to encourage everyone, to do your part in helping to heal the world. You want healing for yourself? You want to thrive? Start with your environment. How can you reduce your waste? Can you perhaps save your banana peels and your apple shavings and compost those at a bonds near you? Or can you save them in a container in your freezer? And then when you get to a composting bin, dump them out. That brings more soil, that rejuvenates, that can be reused. Can you carry a hydro flask or another water bottle other than buying in to these plastic companies that are selling us water? Can you swap a meat based meal with a plant based meal once a week, once a month? Can you do your part there? Can you ride share once a week? Can you bike to the store once a month? Like, what can you do to bring healing to the environment, which in turn will bring healing to yourself? How you do one thing is how you do everything. I want to encourage you, as I said, International Ocean Cleanup is this Saturday. And I don't care when you hear this, I don't care if you hear this a year from now. International Ocean Cleanup is this Saturday. Do your part. If you're at the beach, pick up some waste along the coastline. Pick up some plastic bottles. If they go into our oceans, our fishes are consuming them. You consume the fish, so then you consume the plastic. Again, how's that for karma? How's that for the circle of life? How's that for how you do one thing is how you do everything? I'm going to encourage you to do your part to keep our environment clean. I'm going to encourage you to do your part to eat less meat and consume less dairy. I'm going to ask you to do your part to refusing single use items. I'm going to ask you to do your part to pick up your dog poop if you have a dog and dispose of it. You can't, it's not even enough to just say pick up your dog poop, because people pick up the dog poop and then throw the bag and the poop on the sidewalk. Can you pick it up, preferably in a compostable bag, and then discard of it that way? How you do one thing is how you do everything. Thank you so much for joining us on this Convo 63. We're on our way to 100, and I thank you for being a part of it. I thank you for keeping us on these platforms talking about God's truth, your limitless, and your power. If you haven't done so, please like and subscribe. Also, speaking about ocean cleanups, we have a new partnership with 4Ocean, which I just love the brand. And every purchase, whether it's their bracelet, a t-shirt, whatever it is, goes to removing 5 pounds of plastic from our ocean. And their bracelets are super cool. That's when I learned about it. I bought one of their bracelets because I wanted to, again, do my part, in helping clean up the oceans. But their bracelets, not only that, but they're actually remade from the debris, the material that they're collecting from the oceans. And then they are remade into these cool bracelets. If you're watching this video, it's this bracelet right here. It's so cool. It's high quality. And it's from the waste, from the oceans, and it's put together in Bali, and it's shipped to you wherever you are around the world. And with one single purchase, you are removing 5 pounds of plastic. Talk about doing your part. And I have a discount link for you, and it's going to be in our show notes. Thank you so much for your contribution. Thank you so much for doing your part. Until next time, love yourself and love others. We'll chat again soon. Bye for now.